it real, you love it, or feel the shoving the steel in your eye. Then it lies respect for certain. Your neck was certain from the mic movements.
Peace. I am Father Magnetic. I come in the name of Allah. And this is my seed. Why truth Allah. Sabali. Why truth Allah.
Baba.
And peace, God.
Baba.
And before I commence to build any further, I would like to extend my salutations of peace to the true and living God. You know, peace to the nation of God and earth. You know, peace to the 5%ers, which is really the same thing. Don't get caught up on wordplay. I'm talking about in terms of duty. You know, peace to the LOTC, peace to More Science Temple of America, peace to the Hebrew Israelites, the Nation of Islam, you know, the Lost Found Nation of Islam, peace to the brothers and sisters out in the streets, the urban guerrillas, you know, peace to you brothers and you sisters out there that's doing the work of a revolutionary, you know, spreading the word and counteracting that, you know, white supremacy that we're being smothered by. You know, peace to the brothers and sisters here in born Mecca, which we also know to be Baltimore City and abroad. You know, if I left anyone out, I would just like to send a universal greeting of peace to you all. Now, I would like to build on today's mathematics, which is wisdom understanding. For today is the 23rd. And when we look at wisdom as being one's words, ways, and actions. You know, wise words, wise ways, wise actions, as well as deeds, right? When you're dealing with wisdom, it's just not about talking a good talk. It's about demonstrating the knowledge through your ways and your actions. You gotta walk the talk. You know, you gotta demonstrate what you say you know. Man knows not by being told. That is something that I learned a long time ago. If man is to know, he must himself become what he knows. You have to become what you know. If I know that I'm God, I must be that, and the bee shall be born. Like my air, like, you know, my God brother often says, Master born, true Quan Allah. He often says that the bee shall be born, right? And mathematically, in the mathematics, wisdom borns understanding. However, wisdom, the word wisdom, when you take it through the mathematics, it borns build understanding, right? Now, when you're building, you have to be applying knowledge, because first and foremost, it begins in the mind, the third eye, man. That's the eye, you know, of Horus. You know, that's that third eye that a lot of brothers and sisters talk so much about with very little knowledge or understanding. It begins in the mind. The thought is in constant motion. So that's wisdom right there. Because, see, wisdom is the manifestation of knowledge. You know, and that knowledge is the potential energy that exists. The wisdom is the kinetic energy, because once you put it into motion, you see, then it leads you to the next stage, which is the understanding. So, you know, I utilize my wisdom, or through my wisdom, you can see how I build. You see, that's going to lead you to the understanding, to see me for who I am, and not what others may, you know, say that I am, or what others may present themselves as being, other than their true self. You know, the reason why I say that is because, man, you know, we all can sound good, man. You know, but we can't be caught up on sound effects. You know, we got to demonstrate this thing out here, because it's for the babies, man. You know, if we don't stop the perpetuation of trick knowledge, miseducation, and things like that in the minds of our children, it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Like I said, it's going to be perpetuated. So we have to demonstrate for the youth. You know, we have to be that example. You know, so I'm gonna utilize my wisdom, and through that, you're going to see how I build on my understanding. You see, and that build understanding, right, borns knowledge, right? So when you look at that knowledge, that borns wisdom, right? And that knowledge is peace. And I'm going to get into this a little later in the video, because I see a lot of brothers and sisters doing this, and they're saying, you know, this means peace. You know, some brothers, you know, they look at it, they say this is victory. You know, okay, true indeed. 22nd letter of the alphabet though. But a lot of brothers and sisters don't understand that what you think is peace is really two. Or it's also a language spoken by those that are of these occult societies, you know. But to stay on track, you know, that build understanding borns knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with the 120, you go to the build understanding degree, it asks a question. Tell us what he promised his nation he would do. You see what I'm saying? Now, applying that to me, you know, what did I promise my family I would do? You know, see, we oftentimes we jump ahead of ourselves. We ain't even got our family straight, and we talking about doing something for the nation. You do something for your family, you doing something for the nation. You just have to make sure that, you know, it's done like how the lessons say, at home, then abroad. You see what I'm saying? So, in looking at that, that borns knowledge, and that knowledge, like I said, is peace. Now, is it peace to sit at home and wait for a mystery God to bring you food? Emphatically, no. You know, so when the question is asked, tell us what he promised his nation he would do, I applied it to self. You see, my 120 says first term examination, you know, of Father Magnetic. You know, so what did Father Magnetic promise his nation, his family, his self he would do? You know, and we don't make promises, we make our word bond. You see, and that's going to take us to the knowledge degree, and the 140, where you sit at home and wait for mystery God to bring you food. How can I, if I promised or made my word, you know, or gave my word, how can I sit at home and wait for mystery God? See, I'm not building. You know, actually I'm taking away, thus I'm destroying. You see, and in my cipher, I strive to keep the peace, you know, and that borns wisdom, understanding borns power or refinement, right? And we see that power is an ability to do something. What does the degree say? What does it say in the knowledge cipher degree in 120? You know, or that culture cipher degree, you know, that free cipher degree. It asks a question, you know, what would be your rewards in regards to the destruction of the devil? You know, answer peace and happiness. You see what I'm saying? I would do all I can and all within my power. You know, it said power. So that's my ability to do something and to change something. You see, I would do all I can and all within my power to see the day for which I waited 379 years. Now, if I understand God, if I understand self as God, then I'm going to born self as God. You see what I'm saying? Because it's self. Because 379. 379. Right? That's 19. Take it to the knowledge born degree, or the 19th letter of the alphabet is self. So if I understand self as God, then that's what I'm going to born. I'm not going to born, you know, this mystery God concept. I'm not going to add on to that. You know, and that refinement, that's going to keep me purified, because refinement is a process of purification, not just physically. You know, it's good to fast and things like that to purify the body, but it's also better, you know, to cleanse your mind, you know, cleanse your thinking. We got to cleanse our thinking out here, because our thinking has been diluted, mixed or tampered with in many forms. You know, especially when you look at the babies, right? You know, in the 136, it speaks about the devil planting fear, or in some brothers' lessons it says putting fear in him when he was a little boy. That's the build degree, because the devil put fear in him when he was a little boy. I'm not going to put fear inside of my seed, inside of my children, you know, when they're little boys or girls. I'm going to put the knowledge of themselves, you know, that courageousness, that courage, you know, I'm going to put that inside of them, you know. But how, where do I put it? In their head. Arm, leg, arm, head. See, because the black man, you know, whether people want to agree or disagree, man has a function in his family. And this is what I'm about to get into, because I heard a brother by the name of Natural Tahudi, and I would like to say peace to that brother, and work through your trials and tribulations. Man creates his own conditions, but there are some conditions that were created for man to fall victim to. And you know, if people don't know, and I'm not going to make knowledge born on that, you know, then you do your own research. I would like to say peace to that brother, but there's something that I want to deal with, because proper education always corrects error. You see what I'm saying? And that is peace. That's this, not this. That's this. You know, and it was a video that I watched. The brother was making a statement that what we see and what we often refer to out of some of us, a lack of knowledge itself, what we refer to as the Sphinx, you know. He said that this, according to an author that he referred to, if I'm not mistaken, her name is Drusilla, I think it's n.g.e. And in the book, you know, she was going through how, and I'm paraphrasing, the oldest artifacts, some of the oldest artifacts that were found were female. So in the video, you're gonna see a picture of what we call the Sphinx, and the brother's going to make a statement that many of us think that, you know, what we see, this right here, is a male, and you're even going to hear brothers in the background bearing witness to that, you know. So I'm gonna let you check the clip out yourself, and then I'll get back into my build. Here's the clip.
Everybody knows this picture as the Sphinx, and everybody thinks this is a man.
It's a woman.
This is actually a woman.
Everybody don't think that. Don't say everybody.
Okay, well, most people think it's a man.
Well, this is that right there too.
This is the oldest sculpture on the planet. I have to go refer back to n.g.e. n.g.e said, and I think I have it highlighted, because I was waiting for this damn question here. n.g.e said, I can't find it real quick. n.g.e says, in this book here, The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire, she said all of the statues that were excavated, the oldest statues in the world were of the female, deity.
Okay, now, as you saw, you know, the brother, and I'm quite sure many others, looks at this here, this statue here, and the statue went by different names. One of the names, and this is a good book, a great book, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, you know, from my looking at YouTube and listening to builds and things like that, brothers often refer to Dr. John Henry Clark. Peace and blessings to the brother. Dr. Ben. Peace and blessings to the brother. Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Peace and blessings to the brother. And this book right here, a lot of people probably never heard of this book or even saw this book. This book is entitled Abu Simbel Geyser, and it's a guidebook manual. Inside of the book, see, the brother, he's taking his time to write out the actual tour. You know, he was a tour guide, and there were also other tour guides, but he was explaining, because the brother, Dr. Ben, for short, you know, is a Grandmaster teacher. And if you're referring to brothers such as this, and you're saying that, you know, the statue that the Greeks called the Sphinx is a female, and you heard in the background brothers bear witness that the statue that the Greeks called Sphinx is a female. Now, the brother that I've heard Natural Hootie quote from, this brother Dr. Ben, right? This is what the brother said about it. As we frolic, let us equally prepare ourselves to meet the symbol of unit, right? It's the statue of God Horus. He who the colonialist Greeks, or the colonist Greeks, gave the misnomer Sphinx. That's what was said. I don't want no one to think that I'm making this up. You know, said right there, this is the statue of God Horus, right? He who the colonist Greeks gave the misnomer Sphinx. The Sphinx of Giza, or Giza, while ignoring its sacred meaning of the educational mystery system of the Grand Temple, Lodge number 1 of Waset, Egypt, North Africa. So when they saw this, they gave it the misnomer Sphinx, while ignoring, right, its sacred meaning in the mystery systems. You see what I'm saying? That was the first Grand Lodge according to the brother, and he's a Grandmaster teacher. Now check this out, for those, like I said, say that it's a female. Now here's another picture before I actually go into this. Here's another picture. It says right here in word from the brother Dr. Ben, there is nothing feminine about this African. That's what it says. That's what it says. I want y'all to get that. I want y'all, I don't like to bend my books, but I want y'all to get that. It says, there is nothing feminine about this African. Very much unlike the feminine name the Greeks called Sphinx, in memory of their own homosexual statues they left in Greece, Southern Europe, all of which they equally introduced to their so-called Theban or Theban mythology. The best information existing, no written data of course, states that it is the effigy of Pharaoh Khafra, or Khafra, whose engineers and sculptors blocked it out of an existing limestone quarry. Right? Now, the video that the brother Natural Hootie, and they were at the House of Consciousness, you know, peace to the brother Sanetta. As we see, there's a conflict there. Now, the brother Natural Hootie is referring to n.g.e, and what was said in that book, and I'm giving this to you because this brother is a brother that they often, that we because we all do it. We all refer to this one, this brother also, Dr. Ben, and he's the Grandmaster teacher. So come on now, you know. And the reason why I did that is to deal with proper education, because the 23rd letter of the alphabet is W, and that's for wisdom, and wisdom is to be wise. You see, and you gotta be wise, right? Because check this out, don't think that the adversary, what we call the devil, is not wise. You see, and that's how he was able to put fear in our children, like it says in the wisdom culture degree in the 136, which is the understanding culture degree in 120. You know how I got mine, because I got, you know, 110, then 136. You know, some brothers got 110, then 114, then 136, then 140. You know, actual facts, solar facts. How I got it in mine, my wisdom culture degree, which is also my understanding culture degree in 120, right, says, well, they were made blind, deaf, and dumb by the devil when they were babies. And it always goes back to the babies. We got to be wise, man. We got to be wise. And see, like I said, that's the wisdom culture degree. The wisdom culture degree, or the wisdom culture letter, or the 24th letter of the alphabet is X for unknown. And they call this new generation Generation X. You see what I'm saying? And we learn in our alphabet that X is for unknown, and the unknown must be made known, you know, to the 85% who are deaf, dumb, and blind. The person that has the responsibility of doing this is a civilized man and woman, civilized person, to sum it up, you know, God or earth, you know. So that degree, the wisdom culture, or the 24th degree in 136, is also the 34th degree in 120. And that 3 and 4 is understanding the culture of who? God. You see what I'm saying? So while they were made blind, deaf, and dumb by the devil when they were babies, we got to get them to see or understand the culture of God, because that's their true way of life. And with that, I say peace. This is part 1 to this video, right? There's going to be a second part, because I want to get into this sign right here. We want to, you know, get a little more into what I see, you know, because the day is, you know, the wisdom, my understanding. Now I got to manifest my understanding of what I see, more so through my ways and actions. So again, I would like to say peace to the nation of gods and earth. You know, I'd like to say peace to the 5%, those that just say that they 5%, you know, and then don't ascribe to the name nation of gods and earth. That's okay, you know. LOTC, More Science Temple of America, you know, the Christian, you know, the Muslim, Assalamu Alaikum, the Hebrew Israelite, Shalom, you know, just, you know, peace to all those that are a part of the human family, because like it says in my degrees, that civilized means to teach knowledge and wisdom to all the human families of the planet Earth. And that knowledge and wisdom borns something that we dealing with today, understanding. Because if you do the knowledge, what I just said, right, borns today's math, once you do the knowledge. Because I said that civilized means to teach knowledge, so do it, and wisdom to all the human families of the planet Earth. So knowledge and wisdom borns understanding. So you still see your 2 and your 3 for today's mathematics, due to knowledge. So peace.